Speaking of your lady, you are married too.
I'm married.
Yeah, tell me about that.
I am the only trans person she's ever been with.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm imagining there's not a lot around here.
She's not from here.
Okay.
She's from about an hour and a half away, closer to Austin.
Okay.
Where it's a little more like
So in the burbs of Austin.
Yeah, Round Rock,
Okay.
Hutto.
Okay. Yeah.
She actually grew up with a guy who ended up being FTM.
Okay.
And that's the only other trans person I've ever hung out with was her friend. She was just open and accepting, and that is the first time anyone has been open and accepting of it. Like
what a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fucking refreshing that I can just be me.
Right.
And I don't have to hide anything. I don't have to lie about anything.
After a lifetime of doing that, and being attacked. And, Yep. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's nice.
I'm imagining that would, like, not only, like, emotionally, but in your body, that would feel good. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm finally somewhat comfortable in my own body. You know?
Yeah. Right.
Because someone accepts me for who I am.
Right. Right.
Wholly and completely.
Yeah, I don't think that people who don't have, you know, I don't know, is it a condition? I don't know, problem? People who aren't trans, let's say. That's the most negative talk that you could put in it. But people who aren't trans don't realize, like, how much stress that we carry around with us.
I just wanted to be normal.
Yeah, right. Right.
That's all I wanted.
Right.
I didn't want to be fucking labeled. I didn't want to go through the shit I went through. Right. Kids in school used to call me it and the monster, and there was a...
Well, I mean, it was so stressful that you quit school when you were, what, 10 or 11? I mean, yeah.
There was actually a rumor that went around that I was intersex. And some of my friends still think that, and what's fucked up is I don't think they would accept me if they knew I was just trans. Yeah.
So for them, if you were intersex, it would be like, oh, that's a reason why, or something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think that's actually a prevalent idea, even among queer and trans people, actually, and the community that's around us. You know, talking about this is so hard. Is if, you know, people can somehow find a reason, then we can possibly accept it, because, you know, whereas we should just accept people for who they are.
You are what you are.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't accept people for who they say they are, you're not respecting them.
Yeah.
You know, there doesn't need to be an extra level. We don't have to prove ourselves. You know, that's always a thing, like, that we need to prove ourselves.
And that's one of the hard parts of being me. And living in a small town and grew up being country and all that. Like, if people knew, like, people who have found out immediately changed their mind about me.
Right.
And I feel like the people I know now, if they knew that I am the way I am, they wouldn't accept me anymore.
Right.
We wouldn't be friends anymore.
Right.
You know? Because I see, like, on Facebook, a lot of my friends post anti-trans stuff all the time, and it's just so hard to see.
Right.
Like, you're so cool with me, you love me, you go out of your way to talk to me every day, you call me every day, what's up, motherfucker? But if I were to tell you, hey, I'm trans, you're not going to talk to me anymore, you're not going to be my friend anymore, you're not going to accept me anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be hard, because it's not like you're hiding yourself, but you can't completely tell people.
Yeah, I can't be myself.
Yeah.
I can be myself to an extent, but I can't tell you the truth behind me.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Because I am who I am. I'm a fucking man.
Yeah.
Like, my wife, we were talking about it the other day, she's like, it doesn't click to me that you were born female.
Yeah. Right.
I've always known you as Chad. I've always known you as a man.
Right.
You know, when I see you naked sometimes, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bonus, actually, I feel like. Personally.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I personally, I was never one of those trans guys that, you know, needed that sort of thing. I'm actually okay with, you know, those parts and stuff. But there's a lot of trans guys who are, have that kind of dysphoria, and they get surgery, and
I
do good for them.
I do want top surgery.
Yeah,
we're saving up for that.
Okay.
It's not the fucking cheapest thing in the world.
No.
And
I had to pay cash, and it was 20 years ago, and it was like $7,500.
Yeah, it's like 15 or something. Okay. Like that now.
Yeah. Right. That just seems like if I were trying to get surgery now, I don't know if I could even do it.
Amazon. Yeah. I don't know if they still do it, but when they opened up the big place here in Austin, one of their clauses in their insurance was if you're trans, they will actually pay for your surgery.
Yeah. Yeah. Starbucks was also doing that too.
Was Starbucks doing that?
I don't know if they still do it, but in rural places, if you were a rural trans person, you could get a job at Starbucks and then, get some help. And it doesn't have to always be like surgery and stuff like that. Like therapy, because as you can see, trans people go through a lot of stress. Even like even though you've been through a lot, I feel like you're very well adjusted. You're very comfortable with who you are and that sort of thing.
Thick skin. You have to have thick skin.
Thick skin. You're a survivor in very many ways. It sounds like, myself. And so it makes sense that therapy would be helpful sometimes.
I'm in a mental health program.
Yeah.
And it's actually like when I first started, and I have my legal name, and they were calling me that, and then my psych, she came to me one day, she was like, what do you want to be called? Ah,
yes.
And I was like, fucking thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because I hate that. Like, when I call in my medication, like if I'm at work, I have to go to my truck and roll up my windows and call in my medication so no one hears my name.
Okay, yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It's just... I don't know.
There's always these little things, and at some point I was writing them down, like all the little things that happen because you're a trans person that are just these little stresses that happen all the time. And
men's bathrooms, dudes pee on everything,
and the smell.
Yeah,
and, I mean, we could go into lots of gross detail about that. But there's all kinds of little legal things too, like dealing with Social Security and the draft, selective service, dealing with any kind of like governmental paperwork. I mean, and this is stuff we deal with all the time. And police contact, like let's say you were speeding or something, like what do you do in that situation if your ID doesn't quite look like you or the name is different? I mean, that could end up in violence or jail.
I've had cops think I was giving them a fake ID before.
Exactly. And these are like daily stressors for trans people. If we're not allowed to, just do what other normal people do, out in the world. All the things that other people, don't even have to think about, what's in our pocket, what kind of health care are we going to get if people are going to treat us with respect on our jobs, you know? Anyway, I'm taking over this interview.
No, you're fine.
I had a bad day.
Give and take.
I had a bad day earlier, so I'm like, I'm done with this.
Talk it out, man.
No, I'm not. Actually, I will mention it. I just found out my father died, and it's not like you think. Actually, I hadn't talked to him since the 80s.
Oh.
But I have some anger coming up.
Yeah. Unresolved. Yeah. I got you.
I have some anger coming up, and I'm surprised at it, actually. It's not like I would like to talk to him, but just thinking about him, and so I just have some anger. So we're jovial, and we're talking about some hard shit, and there you go.
Yeah. I saw your post that you don't want condolences, but
no condolences are not necessary. You know. But it's interesting. Like I'm just at that time of life too that some peers are starting to pass away from various things. And, there was a pulse of it when I was younger with AIDS. Right. Yeah. But then it hasn't happened for a while. But now people who are my peers are starting to die. How old are you, by the way?
30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so young. You're so young. Yeah. I started testosterone when I was 29, so I was a little bit older.
I want to start it. I just don't have the health insurance.
Oh yeah.
to start it. And that shit ain't cheap.
Well, good on you for not even going to the black market too, because
I've thought about it.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't know the dosing.
I know. See, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good that you're taking responsibility for that. I mean, some trans people do get desperate and they do go to the black market, and I'm not trying to shame you. Do what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I've definitely thought about it.
Do what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their situation. Yeah, but I hope that you're able to get some health care at some point. That's one thing. How does that mix with your being a libertarian, by the way, access to health care? Because personally, I would like to see healthcare to be a right. I think we have enough wealth here in this country that we can extend that out to everybody.
Yes, but we don't have the doctors to make it flow.
Okay, I agree with that.
Like Canada.
Sure.
How long is the waiting list to see a doctor?
Sure.
It'd be the same thing here.
But that's also something that we can remedy.
Yes. Absolutely.
We can remedy that.
There's fine tuning that can be done.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's have more doctors. Let's have more nurses. Let's have more healthcare in this country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Free healthcare is cool. I like the idea of it. It's just the way they have it on paper, it doesn't work out yet.
Yeah.
And that's all it is the way it is on paper. And it doesn't fucking work. Not the way they have it. There's a way to do it.
Yeah.
There's a way to put our tax money into that kind of stuff. That kind of tax, I'm behind.
Yeah. Well, I think we need some fundamental changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I agree with you. The way things are right now, it may not work that well. But I think that inching towards it is a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
But we definitely need to reprioritize things. Mm-hmm. Or just prioritize things, because I don't think we've ever prioritized medical care. Yeah, because I will tell you, when I lived in Alaska before, I've lived there several times, I actually had to go to Canada for some health care at some point. And they treated me with so much respect. In fact, I will tell you, when I was about to leave, they had me see a social worker because they were worried about my returning to the United States.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, because of the discrimination I had faced as a trans person in terms of trying to access healthcare. They were worried about me. That is going the extra step. That is humane. You know, that's dealing with people with the real problems that they face, which we don't do here in America. We just say, there's the door. You know, or here's your big fucking bill that's going to bankrupt you and put you on the streets. Yeah. So I love it, actually, that you're kind of this flexible libertarian. Yeah. Because a lot of libertarians are not so flexible.
I identify as libertarian, but I don't know what the fuck I am.
Okay.
I don't...
Well, it sounds like you're just very flexible, which I appreciate that.
I am 100% middle ground. Yeah. I like certain sides of the left. I like certain sides of the right. Yeah. I like a lot of the middle. Yeah.
You know? Sometimes those distinctions are just artificial anyway. Like,
it's red versus blue. It's all it is.
I think it's kind of phony because all those people, they want us all fighting. You know,
they don't want peace. They want unrest.
Yeah, well, personally, you know, I used to, for a little while, identify as libertarian, and that's kind of a confession, because I'm very leftist, and I'm actually left libertarian, leaning anarchist, frankly.
I kind of get behind the anarchist.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm more anarchist is because I think that people can help each other much more than they do now, right? That neighborly stuff... You know, when you're really tight with people and they'll help you, I think we can extend that out to society. Yeah. I don't think it has to be so limiting. We have a lot of resources in this country. Let's use them to help people.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, blah, blah, blah. That's my little sermon. I forget why was I even talking about that?
Something about healthcare and me. We were talking about testosterone before. I don't know what we're talking about.
It's too hot. We had to turn off the AC, and I've just lost my brain. Anyway, so you would like to start testosterone at some point. What do you think that's going to do for you? That's more than you already are.
I don't know. I'm curious to see what exactly it does.
Okay.
Because I already have a deep voice. Yeah. I already sound like a dude.
And you're built like a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you have actually the widest shoulders I've ever seen on somebody.
Yeah.
I haven't been around a lot of football players, but...
corn-fed.
Yeah, you look like a football player. You look like that guy in the center.
See, everyone...
What's that called? The center? The center?
The center?
Yeah. He looks like a center.
There's actually, everyone used to give me a hard time. You're going to be a lineman for the Dallas Cowboys. No, I'm not!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're built like that. So.
I am.
I'm
built like a brick shit house.
I wonder what testosterone would do for you.
I'm so curious. So curious. Fucking...
Yeah. Yeah. Well, who knows? Yeah. You'll take off like Superman or something.
I have one reservation.
Okay.
Losing my hair.
Oh, yeah. You'd probably do that.
Yeah. That's my only thing is I don't want to lose my hair.
Yeah. If you start testosterone, you just have to take it. Take it as it comes.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, for me, I did not care at all because I was shaving my head since I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes with a razor, sometimes buzzing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're very attached to your hair...
it's hard.
See,
when I was younger, I used to shave my head. Same thing with a razor or a buzz.
Sure. I actually loved it with a razor.
I love it with a razor. It's hard to wear a hat because the hat kind of sticks funny.
Yeah.
But the smooth.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I would always feel. I mean, this sounds so strange, but sort of more centered or spiritually like clear or something. You know, just like
a fresh haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the razor. It was like starting afresh right now. I'm starting new. Okay.
I fucked myself by growing my hair out that one time. And everyone was like, oh my god, you have such pretty hair. And it went to my head. I was like, fuck yeah, I got pretty hair.
Well, how long did you grow it?
It was touching my tattoo on my back, but it was just up top. Okay. I had the sides and the back shaved.
Okay. Yeah. That's very 90s.
I wore it back in a ponytail, a little tight ponytail.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, what else can we talk about? Oh my goodness, I'm getting hot.
Do you want to take a break and cool it off in here?
Yeah. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Oh, it's so hot. Woo. Cold drink in hand. Yeah. All right, we needed to take a break, or at least I did. Woof. The heat here in Texas, even though it's winter, is still a lot for me.
Yeah. It was 80 degrees today.
I know. It's been 80 degrees for several days.
And you're in your car. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, well, it's fine. I'm glad to be wrapping this up, actually, this project. I am going to do some remote interviews after this because there were some people I couldn't schedule with as I was going. And I feel like I really need to interview them. And then also I'm cutting my in-person interviews short because a friend of mine offered me a job in a rural town in Alaska, and they're going to pay for my ticket and everything to get up there.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to have like free housing and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump on that.
Yeah.
And they have Icelandic horses, which I'm going to pet the shit out of. I am. They're like fuzzy. They're fuzzy horses. And, yeah, and they have some chickens and stuff, so I'm going to pet the chickens. Yeah. So there's that. So I'm having to do remote ones, like, basically from OKC on. So there's some people beyond that who responded, and I'm going to get them remotely.
I got you.
Yeah. So the bulk of the rest of my interviews are going to be here in Houston and then OKC.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So after your friend, I'm headed to Houston.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know.
Drivers are crazy down there.
I know. And also that wet heat, that
I've had to work in Houston for a couple summers. It's rough.
Yeah.
118 feels like 125 with 100% humidity.
It's ridiculous. What I don't like is that it doesn't cool off.
No, not at night.
At least here in the hill country, it cools off. Usually at night.
It'll be 40 degrees tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the coast, forget about it. It'll just stay hot all night. Yeah, too much. And it's so urban that all that heat gets reflected at you. It's like, ugh. And the building is just stored up. So it just bakes you during, oh, it's so gross. And they have such big bugs out there, too.
Yeah, the mosquitoes down there are no joke.
Yeah, mosquitoes.
Pterodactyls.
And those giant cockroaches too.
Oh yeah, the big water bugs.
Yeah, those 2-inch ones. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, too much. They fly at you.
Yeah, they give no fucks.
You can hear their mandibles at night. Yeah, that's where I come from. That I could hear the mandibles at night. Yeah. Poverty. Isn't poverty great?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Oh boy. I remember when I lived in a halfway house, which I actually visited when I was in Houston last time.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a picture of it. And I didn't remember it looking so much like a prison. But I definitely felt it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then just looking at the visuals as an adult, I'm like, goodness gracious, that's where I lived when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
It's kind of hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so if a Texas governor, which I will not name, suggests that kids are better off in the care of the state, he's full of crap. Because the state of Texas does not take care of the kids well.
Did you hear what he's doing?
No.
He's trying.
Me. Well, he's trying all kinds of crap, isn't he?
He's trying to make hormone blockers illegal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all the red states are fucking doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's something like almost 350 LGBT whatever, and mostly anti-trans bills out there in state legislatures.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not only that, like they're going after all aspects of life too. Mm-hmm. Like how we present ourselves out in public, legal documentation, medical stuff, parent and child relations, what can be said in schools, what can, library holdings. I mean, this is fascistic. I'm sorry, but, people have maybe overused that term a little bit. Mm-hmm. But this is right here. This is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, how do you feel like about that as a libertarian, seeing this stuff going on?
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's
do you talk about that with other libertarians, possibly, or?
I have a couple friends who know about me, who are either conservative or libertarian or flat out Republican.
Yeah.
They think I'm special, that there's no other trans people like me.
Okay.
And they're all fruity leftists and snowflakes. And, But I'm the odd man out. I'm the one that's okay. I'm the only one that's cool.
Well, I guess I'm a fruity leftist. I mean, I'm bisexual and I'm a leftist, but I will tell you, I grew up above the Arctic Circle and I've had frostbite and I used to ride freight trains and I'm not. I mean, I'm
tough.
I'm tough too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've taken on skinhead gangs by myself.
Yeah.
So
it's just I don't know. It's so hypocritical.
Yeah.
Almost everyone I know is a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Because I'm the one that's okay.
Right.
But no one else is okay.
Right. I used to hear that too about when I was identified as a lesbian. Mm-hmm. Like I would come across men who'd be like, "Yeah, but you're okay."
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you're cool. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not really respecting my identity. Mm-hmm. You just think that because we both like women, or I know more about women than you do.
Yeah,
you think that I'm cool. Mm. Yeah, actually, a lot of men would ask me for advice about women. Mm-hmm. And believe me, they needed it.
Oh, what was it? Oh, I forget what we were talking about, but...
Yeah.
I forget what we were talking about, but they were like, well, how does that make you feel, your woman's side? I was like, what fucking woman's side?
Yeah. Your woman's side. Well, turn that right back on then. How about your woman's side?
Yeah, right?
Dude.
There is no woman's side. This died a long time ago.
Yeah. I never really thought of it like that. I just think of I don't know how, I took that very strongly, what you said. But sorry if I got serious there for a second.
You're good.
I don't think of my timeline as this was me then and this is me now.
I've been the same.
Yeah. I'm not like you. I'm not like you because before testosterone, I mean, I was butch and I shaved my head and stuff, but I was definitely womanly, in quotes, feminine. In my body. Mm-hmm. Like I looked very feminine in my body. you know, because I had large breasts,
Mm-hmm.
you know, etc. The things that people look at,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and completely discount your actual identity.
Mm-hmm.
Just focus on the breasts.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think of my life as my life. It's continuous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think of it as before and after. I'm just the same person. I just look a little different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What do you think about that? What's your timeline like?
I was born and then I was.
I am.
There's really, it's all the same. It's all been the same.
Yeah. Do you think that's because you haven't gone on testosterone, or do you think that would be a major switch for you, or?
I think it would kind of send home, like, to everyone else. You know what I mean?
Okay. That you were more serious or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, my grandma always said it was a fad.
I can't imagine you being more masculine, frankly. I mean, you're like a man's man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, you're a man's man.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine you being more masculine, except maybe facial hair or something.
That's what I want is facial hair.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a toss-up, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of guys who would love to look like you, who have, you know, beards.
Yeah.
But they can't, you know, but they're never going to be a Mack truck like you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So, we get what we get.
We get what we get. And, like, it's not even a guarantee my facial hair would grow in as good as yours. You know what I mean? My dad has the Joe Dirt facial hair. He has hair right here and right here.
Like
That's
patchy.
It. Yeah. My grandfather could grow a beard, but he couldn't grow a beard till he was, like, 50 years old.
Interesting.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get what we
get. What you get.
I'm a little bit sad now because, like, I've shaved this down. I can actually grow a much fuller beard. But I was just looking at old pictures of myself, like from, you know, when I first started testosterone, like, you know, over 20 years ago. But, like, from a couple 3 years in, my beard was so red. It was like copper. It was like boom. And now it's getting so white and so light.
See, I'm a redhead.
Okay.
And
yeah, I can tell.
I've always been curious about how fucking red my beard would be.
Yeah. You'd probably have one of those, like, kind of circle beards, like just like fuzzy, like giant leprechaun or something.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just a little bit sad. I'm kind of mourning my red beard. It's going away. Oh well.
Some red Rogaine.
No. I just have to think of myself as a tiny Santa Claus now. You know.
How can I put it?
Yeah. Be nice to me.
Tasteful white hairs. Because it's not. It is pretty tasteful. It's right here. Oh yeah, you know what I mean?
It's like it's coming down the sides.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah. I'm actually just whining. I'm just whining.
I got you. Yeah,
it's just because I just noticing the contrast. You know, of wow, my beard used to be so red, and now it's like, oh, you know what it is, and it just popped in my head. Why? Is because I never look at myself in the mirror. It's so rare. So when I see myself in an image, which I will tell you, this project has been difficult for that because I have to look at myself all the time to edit these things, is just looking at myself more and more and more. And I think that comes from acceptance too, because I still don't accept myself enough.
Yeah.
You know? To even look at myself.
I hate to say ashamed, but I'm almost like embarrassed about being trans sometimes. You know what I mean?
So it's lingering. It's lingering. I understand.
Like I can't make eye contact with myself in the mirror.
I understand. Totally.
If I see a mirror, I'm like, like even looking over here, I'm like, don't fucking look.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. I mean, we have the same thing going on. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I wonder how common that is, y'all.
Yeah. Feel some shame about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, shame and stuff. So sometimes I talk about sexuality in a not in a prurient way, but how's that gone for you? Did you date when you were younger, for instance?
It was hard.
Yeah.
Because I was the it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
And girls that I was into, country girls, aren't lesbians.
Right.
And when I was younger, I was a lesbian.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's been hard. Like, I dated a lot of older women.
Interesting.
They were more accepting than girls my age.
Yeah.
You know, they've kind of been there, done that.
Right.
You know?
Right. They went through all the stupid men, and now they get you, and you're a sweetheart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Totally.
But actually, my wife is actually the youngest person I've ever been with.
Okay, and you two are peers. Yeah.
I actually met her through Facebook dating.
Okay, I was going to ask how you met. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that they were advertising that really hard for a while. They don't advertise it for it so much now.
What I liked about it, because like Tinder and Plenty of Fish and stuff like that, there's so many fake girls on there.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's literally
just fake profiles.
It's all like porn type stuff that they're trying to.
Okay, so just advertisements for something else.
Yeah, come pay me to look at me.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I find that a lot on Twitter too. There's a lot of bots that are just trying to get you to go off site to pay sites.
And that's a lot of dating sites right now.
Okay, yeah.
But Facebook dating, it's a lot harder to do that.
Right.
You run into a lot of actual genuine people, and it's pretty cool because it's like the algorithm is it's people you know who know these people.
Okay, yeah.
Like they're all kind of connected.
Right.
Through a couple of different people you're connected.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've tried some of those dating sites, like everything from, OkCupid to like Grindr and stuff. They're real strange. OkCupid, I thought it was a little strange because they have you take these tests that match you up with somebody based on how many things you share. But I don't always share the same things with people that I basically hook up with, that I fall in love with. Sometimes we're very different.
Me and my wife are polar opposites.
Yeah, I mean...
Polar opposites.
I don't think that's a good indicator of a coupling.
Yeah.
In fact, I would find that really boring if I was with somebody that
we agreed
just
on everything.
harmonize with or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit of tension, frankly. And then ones like Grindr that are more geared toward
Grindr's intense.
Yeah, it's too intense. Yeah. It is too intense. I even put my own picture up there, like my face and everything, and I was getting quite a few hits. And it was, it said I was trans and everything. I wasn't, gonna hide that. Because I want people to know if I'm gonna hook up with them. But yeah, it was too much. I couldn't keep up with it. And I'm not trying to brag there. I think it's anybody who goes on there, it's like a lot.
It's just thrown at you.
Yeah. And that's really not the kind of thing I'm interested in anyway. I'm looking for more something like you have, which is really a partnership. Yeah. Somebody that you can grow old with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of that, kind of what do you see in the future for you?
My future?
Yeah, what are your goals and your dreams and stuff? Dream big.
I want a big piece of property out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I want to have my animals. I want to be able to walk out on my porch butt naked if I want to. You know what I mean? If I want to drink a cup of coffee naked on my front porch, I want to drink a cup of coffee naked on my front porch.
I did it at my cabin.
Exactly.
You bet
Freedom.
Bet your ass.
Yeah.
I would be in boots and just naked out in the snow. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Feeding the chickens, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. I want freedom.
Yes.
I want to be able to do what I want to do.
Yeah. What kind of animals do you want?
I would love to have a horse again.
Yeah. Maybe some more rescues or...
I don't know.
Yeah. Just wherever.
Wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some rescue horses are kind of tough.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not worth the trouble.
Right.
But same thing with like purebred horses. Purebred horses are like nothing but health problems.
High maintenance. Right.
You have to, if they don't have this certain feed, they don't act right. Or
right.
mares have to have this supplement so they're not psychotic.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
And
so just kind of dreaming big. What would you have then? Would you have some more Jersey cows and?
I want a zebu, which is it's not South American. I think it's Indian.
Okay.
It's an Indian cow. It's
okay.
only so tall.
Okay.
It looks like a Brahma, the ones with a big hump on their back and the big long ears.
Is that a meat or a dairy cow?
Neither.
Okay.
Neither. They're just, well, I guess Brahma would be considered a meat cow. They're just a little more lean than like an Angus or something like that.
Is that how you would use it? Okay.
Yeah. But I want a zebu just to have a zebu.
Sure.
Just because.
I understand.
I want
because they're cool.
I want a Hereford bull.
Okay.
And I want black Angus cows.
Yeah.
And I want to run black baldies.
There you go. I didn't know what that last one is.
Black baldy?
Yeah.
That is a black Angus cow and a Hereford cross.
Do they have a white stripe on them?
Yeah. No, that's the Holsteins.
Okay.
A Brangus, not a Brangus, a black baldy has a white face and either a brindle body or a black body or a red body.
Okay. And then how about any birds or anything?
I grew up with birds. I'd like to have some chickens.
Just some household stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing commercial.
Yeah. Actually, I worked on a chicken farm for Sanderson Farms for a while.
Okay.
Disgusting.
Okay, so it burned you out.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I understand.
Yeah.
I once visited a farm in near Point Reyes in California, which is zoned as agricultural. Thank goodness for those old hippies that made that happen. Back in the 60s and 70s when they did that, because otherwise it would have been like skyscrapers by now. But it was a pig farm, and many years after the fact, you could still smell the pigs. Yeah, totally.
When I worked for Sanderson Farms, I wanted to transfer out of the chicken farms because of the way they smelled, and like we got sanctioned by the CDC and couldn't leave the property.
Okay.
And I wanted out of that.
You could not leave the property?
Couldn't leave the property.
What?
Yeah. Because
did you have some flu?
There was bird flu.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You had to go through like sanitation chambers and like it was some fucking apocalyptic type shit.
No, I think Britain was just going through that. Yeah. Did you hear about that? Yeah. Totally.
I follow agriculture a lot.
Yeah. I just happened to see it probably on Facebook or something. They had to do all this quarantining and people couldn't leave. I follow a few people who are like breed experts on certain chickens and stuff. Yeah, totally.
But I transferred out of the chicken farm to the pig farm.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be free range pigs, but it was not.
Oh, no.
And I actually raised pigs growing up.
Sure.
And they're smart.
Yeah,
they're smarter than a dog.
Yeah.
They're real fucking intelligent.
Yeah, and
they
very
have emotions.
Affectionate.
They have emotions. They have personalities.
Yeah.
And to see them in the environment that I saw them in, I lasted one day, and I quit, and I moved back to Austin.
Yeah, I really appreciate the animal rights activists who take on those problems. Of the swine farm, the pig farms, how they are, just on these
pigs
cement
they don't
pads.
see sunlight.
Yeah, they're just in these
until they die.
Little cages with cement pads, and they're living in their feces, all day.
The ones we had, I hated even worse than that because it was a metal grate over a slab that slanted down.
Okay. Yeah.
To a cesspool outside.
Sure. Yeah, I've seen cesspools like that.
It's gross. It's terrible.
Yeah.
You can smell it from miles away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
that's a big problem in Iowa, I believe. Yeah.
Iowa has they have a lot of industrial farms.
Yep. It actually changes the weather too. Like you get these kind of fogs.
Yeah. So the animal rights activists, some of them I agree with.
Hot topic.
Some of them I agree with.
Yes.
But, okay, so I didn't grow up, but...
I don't agree with all of it.
I don't agree with all of it.
Yeah, I don't agree with all of it either. But some of them do some good work.
Some of them do.
What I think is funny, it's not even funny, that's a weird word to use, but that there's sometimes regulations saying that that people who are on, let's say, the highway or public lands cannot photograph agricultural installations, right? That sounds sketchy to me.
Yeah, that sounds like something. Well, okay, so what happens in agriculture?
Yeah.
If certain people were to see that,
yeah,
they'd be appalled by it.
Sure. As maybe they should be.
Sometimes, but sometimes it is what it is. You know what I mean? You gotta do what you gotta do.
Sure.
Like I worked rough stock. I worked with bucking bulls and bucking horses for a while.
What does that mean, rough stock?
Bucking bulls and bucking horses.
Okay.
For the rodeo.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
There's so many regulations behind rodeo sports.
Yeah.
If your bull or your horse has so much as a scratch on it, you're penalized.
Okay.
That's a fine you have to pay. If a rider gets too rough with an animal, because a lot of it's showmanship, in the last couple of seconds of the ride, they'll really spur the shit out of them.
Woo!
Yeah, you get in trouble for that now.
Okay.
Do
they have inspectors on site? Okay.
Yeah, they have people watching every move, all over the place of everything going on.
Yeah.
The thing that the rope is tied around their genitals.
Right.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's tied around their belly, and all it is to encourage them to buck.
Okay.
They get shocked before they get put in the chute. No, they don't. A lot of people, so they have cattle prods, handheld ones, and paddles. That shock.
Yeah.
But you know how they're used most of the time?
No.
You only have to shock a cow once or twice.
Sure.
After that, you just have to make the noise, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're moving."
Right. Well, the same with some dog collars.
Exactly.
Well.
All they have to hear is the beep.
Yep. Yeah. Because maybe you shock them as a warning, and then they don't want to go there ever. Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Same thing with cows.
Yeah.
Same thing with horses.
Yep.
Horses don't get shocked. That's a really bad reaction.
Because they're delicate beasties.
They are kind of delicate.
I know it.
Yeah.
That's I hear that from every horse.
For as tough as they are, they're pretty fucking delicate.
Yes, I know.
But okay, rough stock.
Yeah.
Is fed high quality food.
Yeah.
They're exercised every day.
Right.
They have hydrotherapy.
Well, they're the stars of the show, right?
They have massages. They have chiropractors.
Okay.
They have all kinds of stuff for these animals.
Yeah.
These animals live better than I do.
Okay.
Fresh bedding every day.
Yeah.
They scrape out the sand and the sawdust and they put new stuff in to keep them healthy. If you have an animal standing in its own feces, its feet's not healthy anymore.
Right.
Its feet are rotting off.
Yeah, I know. There's all kinds of YouTube channels about that.
Right? And it's really high right now because people don't know how to take care of their animals.
Right.
They put 10 horses on 10 acres and think it's okay. It's not okay. Horses have to be able to roam.
Would that be kind of the hobby farm? Okay.
All the backyard horse owners that just bought 10 acres in a subdivided ranch.
Right. And that's, getting back to that, that's happening a lot around here. I've noticed that.
The 10 horses I rescued?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. And people don't realize how much work it's going to be, or how, it's just like when people adopt rabbits for Easter or whatever, and then they end up
2 weeks later.
2 weeks, they're at the dump or they're being let loose somewhere. It's the same kind of thing, but then you're dealing with a 1,200-pound animal.
Actually, about 10 years ago, there was a really bad drought that came through.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Like the ground was cracking; it was so dry.
You had cracks this wide.
Yep. That's like apocalyptic.
The game ranch that I worked on, we actually had to start killing animals because we couldn't afford to keep up with them.
Yeah. Well, at some point it maybe becomes humane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was no grass.
Right.
Hay was expensive. Food was expensive.
I heard that people were actually buying from Mexico. Yeah.
People were going intense. Across country to buy hay.
Yeah.
Or out of the country to buy hay.
Yeah. I met some Texans up in Massachusetts who came up to support their son who was at one of the colleges up there, and I was living with him in the same big shared house. And the lady, she's from Fort Worth, and she was saying, we just have, the ground is cracking open. We need to go to Mexico for feed. And I'm just like, whoa, I didn't hear about that. It's interesting. Some things that happened in Texas, and I think some things that happen like up in Alaska, just don't get a lot of press or something. I don't know what that is.
It's all fucking propaganda. It's about what they want you to know. They don't want you to know everything that's going on.
Yeah. that there's a crisis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't want to spread that around.
Right. In Alaska, actually, right now, there's all kinds of villages that are washing into the ocean.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's pictures of it, and lots of Alaska Native activists are just shouting about it. But, the New York Times, what are they doing? Are they reporting on it? No.
Well, there's
parts of America are washing into the ocean, folks.
Mm-hmm. Well, down here, there's a water shortage.
Yeah, of course.
There's a major water table that runs from Dallas down to Austin.
Okay.
That actually is drying up.
Okay.
That all the wells out here are on that aquifer.
Okay. So it's just being drawn down and not full.
Williamson County doesn't have water restrictions. They're putting up new car washes and putting in new subdivisions and putting in new shopping centers.
Right.
And they don't give a shit about the water they're using.
Right. Yeah,
out
it's
here,
interesting. Like, you have these ranches, which people are like maybe against, right? Because, it's, the cows are farting or something. But then they want to put in these subdivisions that use up so much electricity and water.
And the heat they put off.
Yeah, and they cut down all the trees. And
they get rid of the native grasses. And they get rid of the native plants. And next thing you know, the birds and bees are gone.
Right. Right, because they, spray...
Because there's nowhere for them to survive.
Yeah, and they also spray stuff that kills the plant life. And, yep, totally. But it's so green,
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's destructive.
Yeah.
If you want to be pretty, put rocks in your yard.
Yeah.
If you want to be productive, put rocks in your yard.
Yeah. Actually, one of the most interesting gardens I saw recently was like a very twisted cedar stump. I mean, this thing was like going like this, and I took pictures of it, and I was like, oh, so fascinated, because I'm a sculptor. All those curves, I'm like, I'm getting in there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there was rocks around it, and they were all very interesting rocks. And I was like, oh, this is such a cool garden. I love it.
Yeah. If you're going to redo your yard and you want to be as friendly to nature as possible, either do a weed yard where it's just native grasses and weeds and stuff like that.
Bring in some goats and eat that shit,
Or do rock and plant a couple native plants like salvia and cactus and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've noticed that they're when you go off the road, like into these areas that are still forested, and kind of dry and stuff, like kind of waysides by the road, there's a lot of little cactuses. They're not big, they're just near the ground, but it's like, I notice them because I don't want my dog to, pee on them and get hurt or something.
Yeah.
Like, what's this? But yeah, I thought that was cool.
We actually had a dog, my buddy's German Shepherd. We took out to my buddy's ranch, and he took off chasing cows.
Of course.
And we were like, well, he's gonna fucking be back at some point. You know, there's nothing we can do about it now.
Sure.
And he came back covered in cactus.
Oh.
He ran right through cactus.
Oh no! Yeah.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't know. They don't know.
I sometimes worried about that up in Alaska, like with porcupines and we
have them in Texas.
Yeah, and I love porcupines. I think they're really cool animals. And then also moose. I mean, moose would go by my cabin like every few days. I mean, it was like on the Moose Highway. I mean, right outside my window, like,
oh wow,
like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Dangerous but cool.
So dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't even know.
Yeah. I've heard tale of moose. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're extremely dangerous. And they're like a couple thousand pounds or something.
Yeah, they're massive.
I mean,
7 feet tall.
Yeah. Yep.
8 feet of horns.
Yeah, and tiny little pea brain and reactive. Ooh,
yep.
I'm gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fast too.
Oh yeah.
Very athletic.
They can gallop just like a horse.
Yeah. Just and there you are. Anyway, my dog was fascinated.
Of course.
And yeah, so I would sometimes worry about that. I would have to peek out like, okay, is the coast clear?
Don't get stomped by a moose.
Yeah. Yeah, knock on wood. Here, give me your head. No. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. This is the weird right here. At least we float though, huh?
Yeah, right?
Anyway, so speaking of floating, what kind of advice would you give to like other trans people who are, kind of living out here in the sticks, the boonies,
be safe.
Yeah.
Be safe.
And what does being safe entail?
There's a lot of hate out here. There's a lot of, like, East Texas where I got attacked. You run into the good old boys who, oh, you're strange and different.
Right.
Ah.
Sure.
You know, and that's not safe.
Yeah.
Be safe. Be you, but be safe.
Yeah.
You know?
What specifically is advice, though? I mean, that's pretty general.
Make sure the people who are close to you genuinely care about your well-being.
So make some good choices.
Make good choices. Yeah. Like I was telling the dogs earlier, make good choices.
Yeah.
100% make good choices.
Yeah, I loved how you said that, actually. That kind of got into my brain. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about that. Because I think I have to tell myself that sometimes.
Make good choices. I have to tell myself that all the time.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Be smart. You know what I mean? Don't be dumb. Don't be willy-nilly.
Yeah.
You mean, be unapologetically you, but make sure everyone around you has your well-being in mind.
How about if they don't?
That's a tough
like
situation.
People who are close to you.
I don't know, because I don't even have advice for myself for that one. There's so much I put up with from my friends, anti-trans stuff, anti-gay stuff, anti-everything.
What specifically do you do in those situations? Do you just not say anything? Do you leave the room? Do you...
I separate from it. Either I'll leave the room or I'll shut down.
Okay.
And I go on to something else.
Okay.
Like divert, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
So you just kind of take yourself out of the situation.
I separate the situation from me. Because there was a point in time where I was openly trans. And it got me attacked.
Right.
I was stealthy at work, but word got around, as word always fucking does.
Right.
And, you know, I wasn't safe.
Right.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, make good choices.
Yep.
Be certain of the people around you.
Yeah.
You know, especially in small towns.
I heard from one person up in Oklahoma that it's good to like be really patient with people if they are confused about being trans, but to never put up with abuse. And I think that's a really good piece of advice, because even people who are close to you, who you love, can abuse you, but you shouldn't put up with that.
Yeah.
Never. Never.
Like, my friends have never made any anti-trans comments to me, like, personally.
Yeah.
But they, like, post stuff on Facebook.
Okay.
About lady men and fucking all that dumb shit.
Okay.
It's like, come on. We're not cavemen anymore.
Like, things, like topics and whatever, and about other people that have nothing to do with them.
Yeah, right.
Really.
It's my fucking business.
Yeah.
It's not yours.
Yeah, and, like, people that they're unlikely to ever meet, like, or, you know, interact with. It's like, why do you care what other people are doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not bothering you. It's not affecting your life personally.
Don't you have other things to do, Mr. Drug Addict out there? Or not paying your bills, or not taking care of your wife and your kids? Go do that before you point your finger at somebody else who isn't doing any of that, or, you know, is just trying to live their lives.
I just want to be normal. That's all I want. I want to go to work. I want to come home. I don't want to have to worry about my safety.
Right.
I don't want to have to worry about being judged.
Right.
I'm judged every fucking day. You know what I mean? Because, like, my friends, so what
is that why you want the facial hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
They fuck with me all the time about not having facial hair.
Okay. All right.
Pussy, fucking can't grow facial hair. You're not a man.
Lots of men can't grow facial hair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's why a lot of men go clean shaven.
Well, like, it's just some people can't do it.
That's right.
It's in their genes.
Yeah.
But, like, the rumor that got started was I'm intersex, right? So they make jokes about my genitalia.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I have to deal with that kind of shit. It's tough. It hurts. It hurts every time.
Maybe I just haven't been around a lot of cisgendered men, but do they talk about each other's genitals a lot? I mean...
No, just mine.
Okay. All right. I wouldn't think so.
I'm strange and different.
Are you guys talking about each other's genitals a lot? I mean...
To an extent, like, there's always the big dick game, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But they really talk about mine.
Okay.
And we want to see it. We want to see it. No! Motherfucker!
Oh, goodness gracious.
Do some research online.
Yeah. Or just grow up. And
don't worry about it. It's none of your business. I'm not trying to fuck you.
I mean, it sounds like grade school kind of stuff. Like
exactly. And that's when it's all started in high school and middle school.
So they never quite grew out of that. Mm-hmm. They're in their 30s and they're still acting like less than half their age. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, sounds like some of y'all need to grow up.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard because like those are my friends, but they're not accepting of who I am. Right. So it's either have no friends or get fucked with all the time. Yeah. And it's lonely not having friends.
It's interesting too because it sounds like if you were to complain, they would then think of you as even less of a man after that, which is such a horrible catch-22, right? That sucks. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that happens to you.
Just roll with it. Yeah. You know, it hurts, but thick skin just gets thicker.
Right. You know? Well, I can see why you want your ranch. You know?
I want to be away from everyone. Yeah. The people who I have come over, those are my people. Right. I don't want your fucking people to come over unless I know them and I approve of them. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you sounds like you got the skills to do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
And it's such a weird place because I'm not sensitive, but I am.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? Every person is sensitive except for sociopaths. Yeah. So you're not a sociopath.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I can put up with a lot, but there's still like even my brother. I had a falling out with my brother a couple months ago. Oh. We were talking. I don't even remember about what, and he called me the queen of misinformation, and I said no, king. He said no, you're a queen. Wow. And I blocked him on everything. Told him to get fucked. Yeah. Don't fucking talk to me. Yeah. You know, shit like that.
And I think people maybe don't realize how hurtful that is from somebody who's close to you.
Mm-hmm. Right? Someone you've known since birth.
Yeah. You know. Who's known you.
Mm-hmm. Who's watched me grow up. Yeah. But like we just recently came back together and started talking again. Good. And he even apologized. He's like, I shouldn't have gone there.
Good. Good. You know? And I don't know how you feel about things, but an apology can really make all the difference. Mm-hmm. It
just really can. Acknowledge you fucked up and tell me you're sorry. Yep. You know? Yep. That's all it takes.
And then you can move on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because otherwise it's always there.
We have this boundary now. Mm-hmm. We know where the line stands. Yeah. Don't fucking come near it. Yeah. You know? Right. If you're gonna poke the bear, we're not gonna talk anymore. Right. We might fight, whatever. But I'm not gonna be disrespected. I'm a 30-year-old man.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I put up with so much disrespect as it is. I'm not gonna put it from people who I was born with, who are my blood. Right. You know what I mean?
That's right. You don't have to.
I don't have to. Yeah. There's so much of my family I don't talk to. Like there's certain people, the ones that I've had to prove myself to, that I'm a man, that I can do man stuff, that I'm just as manly as they are, that I can outwork them. They're accepting of me. But like I have cousins who refuse to acknowledge my existence. Yeah. Just because they're so close-minded and, I'm not who I am.
Do you have to see them that often?
Not so much anymore.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I had to see them a lot for family reunions, but the family's kind of broken up. Yeah. We've lost the matriarch of our family. Okay. And no one really talks as much anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, she sounds like she was kind of holding things together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just from the little that you said. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's a good place to end. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah. I've I gotta say, I think it's extraordinary how strong you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you're really, good-spirited, and I'm so glad that you have such a healthy relationship with your partner.
Mm-hmm. This is the first healthy relationship I've ever had.
Yeah. It seems like it. I mean, not from your history, but just seeing you guys together. Is, really, really nice. Mm-hmm. Really lovely. And I hope that you're, obviously you have some plans for your RV here, which I'm, sounds exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then also your long-term plans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Something to work for.
Something to work for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got things I'm saving up for.
Yeah.
I'm doing the envelope saving up.
Oh, okay.
Where you write on that envelope what this is for, and you put money in it every time.
Yeah.
Every time you get paid, until you have enough money to do what you want to do.
Yeah. And I know some people, they kind of make a joke about this, but they'll freeze money, or freeze an asset, like freeze their car.
Oh, okay, yeah,
put it in the freezer and not ever use it, except when it's an emergency or whatever. Then you'll bring it out. But yeah.
I used to do that. I had a savings account that I would funnel money into.
Yeah.
That I didn't have a card for.
Yeah.
That I just don't touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I got sick and had to have surgery and all that shit and had to, bust into it.
You might want to. I mean, I can't give anybody any kind of financial advice, but you might want to talk to somebody who is actually a professional advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And then see if they can come up with accounts for you where you can put money in every single time. Yeah. Kind of like you're doing with the envelope, but more safe.
Mm-hmm.
And build up some, credit.
Yeah.
Credit is the most important thing.
And mine's fucked.
Well, you can build up your credit, though.
Mm-hmm.
You can build it up.
Yeah.
It's not a forever thing.
Mine's medical debt.
Okay, yeah, that's common, too.
Yeah.
That's why we should have universal health care. Yeah. I could go into more detail about that, but I know that very well. And yeah, but if you talk to a financial advisor, they can help you build that up. Find somebody cool, maybe even somebody who can work with the queer community, because probably your ID, once again, that's one of those things that comes up. Working with banks and financial advisors, and because I really want to see you on a ranch.
I've been applying. I'm trying to get out of construction. I'm trying to get back into agriculture.
Yeah.
And this is a good place to start. There's a lot of different ranches and stuff out here.
And there may also be like a couple that's retiring that you could caretake their place, rent to own. There's a lot of younger people who don't want to go into that.
Yeah.
It's
hard work.
Who knows? Maybe you can find a situation like that, and you're sweet enough. You could probably sweet talk somebody.
And I have the knowledge.
Yeah.
I have the gift of gab, and I have the knowledge to back it up.
Exactly. And you could take care of them in their old age and take care of their land, which I'm sure that they care about, and their animals. And then it can be kind of like a kind of an inheritance kind of thing. You know?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Just put that idea out there.
Put it into the universe.
Yeah, put it out there. Put it out there. We're putting it out there right now. All right. Woo! I'm getting hot again. Oh my goodness. Texas, you're too much for me.
It's a lot.
Yeah. All right. So, I never know how to end these. I always feel a little bit of sadness because I feel like I connect so well with the people that I talk with, and
you do a lot of good interviews.
You're just such a lovely person. I hate to say goodbye to you. I gotta say it.
Well, I appreciate it.
I want to learn all about the cows and shit. I want to learn all that stuff.
Keep in touch.
I can't have cows up in Alaska, but yeah,
y'all can have yaks.
Yeah, we have plenty. No, not yaks. We have muskox.
Yeah, muskox. Yeah,
they're actually a problem in some places though, because they come into urban
free range.
Not necessarily urban areas, but towns. They come into they're free range, and they come into these towns, and they're actually extremely dangerous.
Yeah,
and it's like if they hit something, it's like being hit with a truck. Like I saw there's this display at the something called the Large Animal Research Lab or something like that at the University of Alaska. I'll put a link to it. They have little baby muskox there, and they're the cutest things ever because they have these giant eyes and they're super fuzzy. But when they're adults, they actually have this little display of when a male, I believe it was a male because it was a big dent, they had like a plow that it went into, and the thing was like, like.
If you pay close attention, I'm a little shaky. I got a bad hit from a mama cow.
Oh.
And she rolled me and rolled me and rolled me until
you?
I was literally on the ground in a ball.
Oh.
And she was pushing me with her head and her feet.
Okay.
She was pawing me with her feet.
Why was that?
Her baby.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to put an ear tag on her baby.
Okay. Was that one of those jerseys?
No, this was a Brangus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard jerseys can sometimes do that.
Jerseys are super temperamental.
Yeah. But the milk is so good.
So good. I love fresh milk. I haven't been able to find fresh milk.
Yeah, fresh Jersey milk. Yeah. I know, I used to be a cheesemaker.
Oh, yeah.
Makes the best cheese. Yeah, Holstein, I mean, volume. You get a lot of volume there, but...
Yeah, Holstein, you get like 10 gallons of milk a day sometimes.
Yeah.
Jerseys, you get like 3 or 4 gallons. Yeah,
but it's so
rich.
Good. Yeah.
And depending on what feed and grasses you have them on, it's real sweet.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Ooh.
Actually, if you have your cows on clover, their milk tastes like pickles.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, I know that the feed can change because, like historically, the reason why, like we have, sometimes if you get some artisan dairy products like cheese or butter or something like that, if they are grass fed, the milk will change over the season. It will get more yellow, it'll get more white, and it depends on what they're eating. Yeah.
Diet, weather, stress.
Yeah. But now what we do is we blend all the milks, and this feed is very standard, so we don't get that variation. But that's what you got historically, is kind of this difference.
I wouldn't say feed is standard. A lot of people mix their own feed.
Okay.
They'll go buy cottonseed in bulk. They'll go buy whatever in bulk. Oats, sweet feed. They'll buy it in bulk and they'll mix it themselves.
Okay.
That's what we did. We had a...
Does that change during the season, though?
Depending...
Summer is different than winter.
So cottonseed burns a lot of energy.
Okay.
So cottonseed you give them like in the winter time when you're trying to...
When they need more
when they need more energy.
Yeah.
But like we had a whole section in our barn that was just for bulk feed.
Yeah.
That we would mix by hand.
Yeah. In Alaska, what we did, because, it's so cold. I mean, it gets down to in the negative 50s in the Fairbanks area. We would still have, our birds, obviously, And so before they go to bed, you give them a little corn. Because they burn hotter when they have corn.
Yep.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's the kind of knowledge when you actually raise the animals yourself.
When you've been there, done that.
That's right. Yep. All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that grip. My goodness.
That was soft.
I know. Well, I can tell. I have this little tiny baby hand. Your hand is like all muscle.
I wear a size large glove.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what I usually have to get the real small ones anyway.
My buddies fuck with me. You got small hands. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
You have like hams for hands.
Yeah,
there.
I got big hands.
Yeah. I know, you just about swallowed my little hand there.
I'm sorry.
No, you didn't hurt it. Don't worry. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Do
been
you feel
fun.
Okay? Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been different. I've never been able to tell my story like that before.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like the second trans person you've met. I mean, wow, that's wild.
The only other person I've really told my story to is my wife.
Yeah.
So this is like getting a lot off my chest.
And onto the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you leap, you take the big leap.
Yep.
All right. Again, thank you so much. Oh, I'm praying for that. I can see it. I can see that ranch.
Yep.
I can see it.
Yep.
With a good well too.
Yep.
All right. Cut. Night, y'all.
Over and out.
Awesome.
It's been fun.
Yeah.